Today's Spotlight on Naperville is brought to you in part by... Welcome to Spotlight on Naperville, Community That Cares. I'm Nancy Wearsome. The nonprofit community is presenting some very special events and important messages. Today's show highlights 6 exceptional organizations, each committed to the vibrancy and well-being of our entire community. So thank you for joining us as we feature these extraordinary groups, all deserving of a spotlight. And we're going to start today's show with Adopt Pet Shelter. So happy to have you back again.
Thanks.
Chris Stern is Executive Director of Adopt. So good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Sandy Boston is President.
Yep, thank you
So
for having
good to
us.
have you. And Jessica Ruck, adopted. You have 2 friends with you. We'll introduce in just a moment. So good to have you
Thank
here
you.
as well. Well, Sandy, let's start by talking about the mission of Adopt.
The mission of Adopt, we are focused on adoption of homeless, unwanted animals. So we rescue animals, we take extraordinary care of them, providing them whatever medical needs they might have. And then we also work toward educating the public on the plight of the homeless animal and the care that animals need.
And you do that so beautifully, and we actually have an example here. So, Jessica, why don't you introduce your dogs to everyone?
Well, thank you. This is Emma, who we've had for almost 2 years, and this is Oscar, who we've had for just under 1 year.
So, how was that process of adopting for you?
It was very smooth. We came multiple times and actually visited a couple different dogs. And then the kids would come and meet the dogs, and then she remembers
She really
Sandy.
does like them. Whoa. Yep.
And then my husband was able to come, and so we all got a chance to get to know her, and then we filled out our application, they reviewed it and kind of checked our references and made sure that the dog was going into a healthy home. And I would say within a matter of a couple weeks, we were able to take her home.
And so the experience was so good that you did it again then?
Yes.
Or a companion?
Yes.
Yes.
We kind of coerced her into doing some more.
It wasn't hard.
I know.
Yes. Well, that's wonderful. Now, you also, Chris, tell us about the foster program, because that's another important element of your program.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, we have different options for fostering. We do medical fostering, behavioral fostering, and then just a break for dogs that need some time out of the shelter. So it's really important. The shelter, you know, as great of a place as it is, can be stressful for the animals. So sometimes we have animals that just need a break. We'll send them out to foster for a couple of weeks. It gives us a really good idea as to how they do once they're in a home. Sometimes we have dogs or cats that have medical needs. They're recovering from a major surgery. They're being treated for an illness. We'll put them in a foster because they recover much quicker in a home than in the shelter environment. And then other times we have dogs that have some behavioral issues that we try to place them with a family who can help with their training.
Sure. And I know you were saying that, you know, maybe not all dogs are as easily adoptable.
True.
And what are some factors that would make it difficult for someone to...
I'll let Chris and Jessica chime in, but basically the larger dogs oftentimes are more difficult to adopt out. The easiest dogs seem to be the small, you know, little frou-frou dogs. Also, we do really well with older dogs. It's amazing. Sometimes we have dogs that are 10 or 11 years old or even older that find homes. And then also, just like Emma, black dogs are more difficult to adopt out. I think it's because people think they're scary looking.
Yeah, I think it's because, you know, their eyes kind of blend in, so it's hard to read their expression at times. So they tend to be a little bit harder to adopt out. But as you can see, Emma's a really great dog.
Oh, and Emma is so social.
Yes.
Very social.
Yes, and also breeds like Emma and Oscar are both pitty mixes. And you know we take especially good care. Yes, pit bull mixes, and we take a special care to screen people for these kinds of dogs to ensure that they don't go into an unfortunate situation.
Very nice. And then you have another program, Blessed Bonds. Tell us about that.
Blessed Bonds is also a foster-based program where we offer crisis care for families or individuals who have encountered some sort of a crisis, be it, temporary homelessness or a medical problem where they're not able to care for their pets, but they don't want to relinquish them to a shelter. So we provide temporary foster care so that while they're getting back up on their feet or they're recovering from a surgery, we're caring for their pets, and then we reunite them at the end of their
And that
time
must
frame.
be so comforting to not think that they are losing their pets completely.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, because that bond is really important,
Yes.
especially when you're going through a difficult time. People find comfort in knowing that they're going to be reunited with their
sure.
pet.
What a wonderful
Yeah.
service. How kind of you.
It also fits in well with us because it keeps those pets out of the shelter environment or, becoming
Sure.
a homeless animal. We've seen that where people call and need to give up their animals and then we
Yep.
tell them about this program.
Yeah, how wonderful. Now, you have an event coming up, so fun, Making Strides for Strays Walkathon, May 4th.
Yes.
Tell us about
yes,
that.
and we are here to plug that event. It is our biggest fundraiser of the year, taking place on Sunday, May 4th at 5th Avenue Station here in Naperville. It's our biggest fundraiser in terms of the funding that it raises for us to continue our programs and also the number of people that come out. We do have probably about 700 to 800 people and about 300 to 400 dogs. We invite people to bring their dogs, but it's not necessary. So the event basically starts out early on a Sunday morning, 7:30 to 8:30 is our registration, and then the walk kicks off at 8:30 with Mayor Pradle saying a few words and the blessing of the animals also. And this is actually our 21st year of doing the event, and over the course of the last 20 years, we've raised just over $900,000 from this event itself.
That is fantastic.
It's
And you
really
really
great.
have fun with it. I know you have a couple of contests.
Yes, we do.
My favorite, the dog and owner look-alike.
Yes, it is always the most popular contest.
And I
People
have
get
to ask
into
you,
it,
what
yeah.
is Twist and Shout?
Oh, what we are doing on that one is we're celebrating our 25th anniversary, so we've been around now for 25 years. So we're throwing in a human contest, and it is a hula hoop contest. So I'm hoping that people know what a hula hoop is.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, are the dogs doing this?
It's for people this time, trying to
Yeah.
get people into the celebrating with us.
Sure. Well,
We've
that's
been around so long.
That's a perfect way.
Yep.
Congratulations
Yep.
to you. I
Thank you.
think we've put them to sleep here. So, so we better
Yes,
conclude
they are
this. So
resting, yes.
thank you for coming on, and special thanks to Emma and Oscar for
Yes.
being with us. I can tell they're
Yes.
riveted by this conversation.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. And we're going to take a very short break. When we come back, more Spotlight on Naperville, so stay with us.